Hey guys, this is here bringing you another video. Welcome back to Patch Note Breakdown. So we do these pretty much every patch just so we can keep up to date with the game. We are obviously moving past like Worlds because Worlds is locked into patch 12.18 and this is now 12.19. And this is usually, and I think it is happening, when Riot sometimes goes a bit nuts. It's just before preseason, so we're not getting that stuff yet. So they just sometimes go a bit off meta. And I think that is what's happening. But Syndra is getting her mid-scope update. And also, just to let you guys know, will be another dev video coming out tomorrow. So all the preseason stuff, I'm sure some people are like, where's Huzzy's video on the preseason stuff? And I've had so many videos that I already had in the pipes that it was basically the next one available, because yesterday was the other dev video we did of their blog. Today's patch notes, which is kind of a timed thing that I want to get out. So tomorrow will be the video about the preseason stuff. Because just to mention, I was in a dev meeting with the developers doing all of that last week. So I know a little bit more of their thought process and why they're doing things. So I'll kind of talk you guys through that in that video. So a lot of buffs. Holy Jesus Christ. Nerfs, Marcy, Rek'Sai, buffs, Blitzcrank, Echo, Fizz, Garen, Jinx, Kai'Sa, Malphite, Nasus, Nunu, Rakan, Ryze, Shyvana, Sona, Tankens, Twitch, and Udyr. Adjustments to Syndra. Eclipse is getting adjustments. Spirit Blossom event, apparently. Okay. Really? Okay. Which will be available October 6th. If there is a loot event with it, I will do a loot video, I'm sure. And maybe we'll give some stuff away in that. Right. Syndra. I will say, I don't have, because I record and upload these all at the same time, as you guys know, this will be today's second video. I do have food arriving soon, and I'm really hungry because I've not ate today. So bear with me because I'm starving. Right, Syndra. Base health has gone down. Passive is being changed, so updated. So basically, all the gist of it is she's getting victored. Does that make sense? They're changing her to kind of give her more of a victor thing. Which I actually think is not a bad idea at all. So her updated passive is Syndra collects up to 120 Splinters of Wrath via damaging enemy champions and gaining levels. Splinters of Wrath enhance Syndra and her abilities. Mana from Splinters, so Syndra restores 20 to 215 mana whenever she collects a Splinter from an enemy. When she becomes transcended at 120 Splinters, as she gains 15% total AP. So combine that with a death cap and you are potentially getting a insanely high AP mage like a Veigar. Syndra can gain Splinters of Wrath from the following method. So this is how you get them. Damaging an enemy champion with 2 abilities within 4 seconds grants 1, 2, 3 at levels 1, 11, 18. So 1 Splinter until you get level 11. And then 2 Splinters and then 3 Splinters. You know, at level 18 though is when you get the 3 Splinters, and a lot of games you don't even get to level 18 anymore. And there's an 8-second cooldown per target. Syndra will receive 5 Splinters of Wrath when she levels up, and killing a cannon minion grants 1 Splinter. So again, this is remember, a mana regen thing for lane phase. So this is actually pretty cool. And as a new look, when Syndra fully upgrades an ability, she will now receive a new upgraded icon for it. And then here we go. So each of them have transcended elements to them now too. So the cooldown is going up to 7 seconds. Sounds like a nerf, but you'll see in a second. I do know a little bit about this. Mana cost of it is going down later into the game. The magic damage of it is going up based off ability power. But the new transcended is upon gathering 40 Splinters of Wrath, Q will be able to store 2 charges with a 1.25 second cooldown in between. So yes, it's going from a 4 to a 7, but you'll be able to use it more eventually, or more in, you know, quick succession. So that is overall a buff eventually. Force of Will, W, Sphere, pickup detection radius has gone up to 500 units, so easier to pick up things. New Run Playthings, non-sphere units that Syndra picks up will now be unable to die while Syndra's is controlling it. There was previously a very small amount of time where units could die while being picked up. Yeah, I definitely experienced that myself. The Transcended for Force of Will is upon gathering 60 Splinters of Wrath. W will deal an additional, oh my god, 15% plus 1.5 extra per 100 AP true damage. And with all death cap and the Splinter of Wrath giving you 15% ability power, I would not be surprised if a Syndra could get to 500 ability power in late game. So you would be getting way more. Also, what you'd be getting plus 7.5% also. So that W would be dealing an additional 22.5% true damage to it eventually. If you get to 500 ability power after you get 60 wrath. That's strong. Scatter of the week. Cooldown is being flattened to 15. Stun duration is going down though. Magic damage of it is also going down a bit in terms of both flat and AP ratio. The scatter angle is increasing though, so it does a more widespread good in a team fight. Reduced likelihood of Q not stunning targets at close range, so that's a buff. Removed is Dark Spheres spawned after casting Scatter of the Week are no longer fired as missiles. That's gone. And the new Transcended is upon gathering 80. Scatter of the Week cone is increased to 84 degrees angle. Jesus. And slows enemies by 70% for 1.25 seconds. Wow. So think about like how crazy it is. It's going from 34 degrees, so like a smaller cone, to a 54, which isn't bad anyway. And then when it gets transcended, it's a nearly like that's like that in terms of like the scatter. That's pretty good for team fights. That's very good for team fights. Wow. And then her ultimate is going down damage per sphere and ability ratio, but obviously she's gaining so much more ability power than she used to have. But then there's the new stuff is the unleashed power, which is her ultimate. It's a passive, will grant Q Dark Sphere an additional ability haste, so lessening the window of when she can use it, which is good. And then when this comes to Transcended, is upon gathering 100 Splinters of Wrath, unleashed power will now execute champions below 15% max health. Whoa, that's really strong. Whoa, hey, oh, whoa, okay. Syndra's back, baby. I'm telling you that right now. Damn. Is Riot sure about that? Like, obviously nerfs might happen, but wow. So combining all of her kit, she's a scaling mage. She is going to be weak in the early game. She's quite like a lot of my champions already. Victor, Nivea, they're not early game centric. They're scaling centric, and Syndra's exactly going to be that. But her scaling is going to be scary now too. Especially like, think of like when you say 15% max health, and this is where executes are very strong. An Udyr that builds full tank items, even at 15% health, is still actually quite hard to kill. You know, it's pretty tanky. It's going to be hard to kill. Well, now, boom, he's dead if she ults him. So, yeah, wow, okay. I'm looking forward to play that. Blitzcrank. So what I would say about this, I don't know how good it is for me even to talk about this, because in essence, they're buffing the fighter part to Blitzcrank's kit. So, yeah, he originally wasn't a support technically. He was a fighter. He's a support. And this could be jungle buffs is what I've been told, or top lane buffs. But again, it's just never going to work. But they're just giving some buffs here or there. Bonus attack speed is going up. W deals an additional 1% of target's max HP and magic damage against non-champions. The damage is increased, so jungle clear is better. Again, against non-champions, so jungle clear, they're giving it, you know, more power against jungle clear. Ultimately, I do think it is a bit silly that you're making something like Blitzcrank, trying to make him either lane or jungle. This is what I've been criticized Riot for recently. Is they're trying to make every champion viable in every rank and every role. It's like, you don't have to do that. Like, it's having structure to the game is not a bad thing. So I'm not sure about that. Again, I'm not going to read too much into it because I just think it's silly. Echo, very strong champion in the right hands still to this day. And I love that saying he's been a bit weak right now. Yeah, if they played the game, they would probably not think of that, but they only go off numbers now. So the passive is getting a buff in terms of AP ratio, and then the ultimate is also getting a buff in terms of AP ratio and base damage, so Echo is going to be doing even more damage. Woo. Fizz, I will say Fizz of all champions, still strong in his weird own way, but you don't really see Fizz anymore. Why? Controversial potential opinion. I think Fizz is a worse version than easier to play champions in the same role. He is a AP roaming assassin. Why not play Katarina? Why not play Echo? Why not play Diana? Why not even play Kiana? She's the AD version. He isn't as good, you know, and he has his E, which is easy, and it's good for that. But landing your max range Shark is not the easiest thing to do. You can muck it up really easily, and people do. So I think that's why you just haven't seen as much Fizz, is he's been overshadowed by easier and potentially better versions of his own self. But he's getting a bit more of a damage buff with a 15% damage AP damage ratio buff. That is good. That is not bad at all. But there was that. Garen, again, annoying champion. And it's the type of thing that Garen doesn't need a buff, but they're only doing it because, again, they want champions to be viable in every rank, and he's probably not performing in high rating very well because he shouldn't. He's a very basic champion, so therefore they're buffing it to make it stronger in high rating. So crit strike damage is going up. It was 58%, it's now 75%. Oh, God, okay. Crit Garen incoming. Imagine getting a crit Garen that, you know, very interactive gameplay is what we talk about a lot. A Garen is just hiding in a bush, cues you, so you're silenced, and then E spins you, and then by the time you're unsilenced, he ults you and you're dead in one go. That's what we talk about. It's not interactive gameplay, but yeah. Jinx hasn't been in the forefront of AD carry. I've always said usually AD carries work in a trifecta, that there's only really ever 3 AD carries that are the top tier, and they kind of work as a counter triangle to each other. Right now, you know, if I had to say, obviously there are more than 3 that are played, but it's probably like Draven, Misfortune, and hell, even now Kai'Sa. It's kind of those 3. All are good in their own way, but yeah. So base damage is going up by Jinx only by 2, but it's not bad, and their ultimate is also doing more damage. So little buffs, nothing major, but again, you need to be careful with buffing AD carries because their items are so strong. I would arguably say of the 2 strongest groups of champion items, I would say are fighter items, incredibly strong. Blade the Ruined King, Death's Dance, Mormel Mortius, very strong items, but also AD carry items are frighteningly strong. All the, you know, Kraken or Gale Force. I'd say Shield Bow is strong in its own way. They can use Blade the Ruined King, some of them. Infinity Edge, crazy good item. Ginsu's not bad on some of them. Like, they have strong items too. But yeah, and obviously I'm playing more AD carry on my main account even now. I'm finding it fun. It's a very strong role. But yeah. A passive AP ratio increased. I really don't care about AP Kai'Sa. Malphite, WAP. Oh my god, no. This is what I'm talking about. Riot goes nuts when it doesn't matter anymore. This balance, it doesn't matter because it's not affecting pro worlds play. So what do? They're making AP Malphite more viable. Oh god. Help. We're all going to get one shot by everything again. Again, I have said the durability update was pointless. All you're seeing so far in this patch is damage buffs. Because Riot wants one-shot meta back. It's pointless for them to even hide it at this point. That's what they want. So AP ratio buffs for both his passive, W for passive, and his ultimate. Yay. Master Yi, health champion. He is actually getting nerfs. AD growth decreased, and the bonus damage off his E also is going down. Again, it was a huge mistake to do what they did to him, but anyway. Nasus, what's going on here? Nasus has historically found success in lower skill brackets, similar to Master Yi changes, which is fine. This is what does, like, I don't know, basic champions. And I'm not saying it's not an insult at all. Every single video game needs basic stuff, more advanced stuff, and you need the spectrum in between. The more basic a champion is, Master Yi is like the epitome of basic, but Nasus is also very basic. You know, I think it said like Akshan's W has more text in it than in Nasus's entire kit. Like, it's very basic. A very basic champion shouldn't do that well in high rating, because the more basic it is, the more outplay that is in theory possible. And it's true. Why do you have to try and make everything viable in every rank? It's never been the case. There's been always a natural, you change your champion the higher rating you go, or you just accept it. And, you know, one tricks in every rank do exist, even Challenger. And that's what you accept if you're going to main or one trick a more basic champion. You accept that. That's part of it. But Riot, I don't know. Their direction has just been so weird recently. So empowered Q is going up, so easier to get your Qs off. The Wither is going better slow, and new attack speed slow values are also going up, so even better in that way. Wow, okay. Wow. So it's a 25% movement speed buff, 50 to 75, and way more attack speed slow as well. Up to 71% attack speed slow, where it used to be 47. That's huge. Ultimate, he's becoming bigger in model size, which is both a buff and a nerf, because buff, you're a more distraction. Nerf, you get hit by more abilities. E is AoE radius damage now increases based of his size, and the damage tick rate is also damaging every 0.5 rather than every 1. Technically a buff, because it gives less time for someone to, you know, if they walk out of your radius at 0.9 seconds, they've got hit by no tick of your damage. Well, now they would have at least got hit by a little bit of the damage, because it's every 0.5, so it's technically a buff. What is Riot doing? Ultimate AP Nunu damage increased. Oh, this is literally like the cheese, mainly ability power buffs. Oh. Oh god. Again, the technical thing, none of this will be meta. None of it will be viable. This is for players who want to mess around or who do cheesy stuff. There are AP Nunu jungle people, so it's just a buff to those players. This isn't going to make people build AP Nunu. This isn't going to make people go AP Malphite. It's not going to do that. Yeah, it's just weird. Rakan, passive AP scaling increased and Q AP scaling increased. So again, this champion's very good. He does sometimes, I will say, and yes, I know I'm saying he lacks damage, and I think there's still too much damage in League, but it is true. He doesn't do a lot of damage. So they're just giving a bit more AP ratio for him to do a bit more damage. Rek'Sai, base attack damage is going down to 61 from 64. Rise, QAP ratio increased and WAP ratio increased. I will probably give Rise a go on this patch, because I have had a couple viewers actually ask me about, can I play Rise? So we'll probably give him a go in the Unranked to Diamond series during this patch. Always a hard champion to balance though is Rise, so those are both going up a decent amount actually, not too bad. 10% buff on the W, 5% buff on the Q, but obviously that's very spammable. Shyvana. Oh, what are they doing here? W AoE AD ratio, W AoE AD scaling increased, and bonus on hit damage AD scaling increased. E% health damage on auto attacks decreased, and AD scaling increased. AP scaling increased too. Oh, okay. Right now, Shyvana's best builds are her tank ones, despite that one time we got blah blah blah. There's only one reason why her tank build is the best, by the way, and that's potentially something that they're not doing. We'll see if they change it, but I don't think they are. The only reason that the Shyvana tank build is the best is because it's the tank combined with demonic. It's what everyone's doing. It's the same as Udyr. He's doing that build too. It's a really strong combo. It's exactly the same of the tank items being so strong and Riot's refusal to nerf Blade the Ruined King, that we're having the really unhealthy builds of like AD champions like a Yone or even a Yasuo I've seen build Blade the Ruined King first and then a tank item, and yet they still nearly one-shot you or do one-shot you in some cases. Riot is just refusing, and I honestly don't know why they're refusing to change these items. It's bizarre. As I have said in the past, I do think Riot's mentality has kind of just switched off until preseason in some avenues, and I think those items they're just ignoring them. They have to be, because it ain't healthy. So the magic damage is going up, but based on your AD. So they're trying to incentivize buying a bit of AD more. So yeah, both of these are getting more AD scaling, but it is magic damage it's dealing. The flame breath as well, it's going down on the maximum health, but it's getting more scaling in both AD and AP. So buying that one demonic embrace will do more. Okay, well there's all that, and then there's obviously more dragon damage as well. Shyvana's not weak, which is the weird thing too. Sona, Q-based damage increased and power chord E slow increased. So more damage from Sona. I know I always get a bit of stick whenever I say it, but just play Seraphine. She's the better version. Tam Kench, QAP ratio increased. Everything's getting damage. I swear, everything is getting more damage, and the game already does too much damage. Oh my god, the durability patch just didn't happen. Slowly each patch, they've just been bringing the damage back up to what it was. And like, they've been trying to do it sneakily, but I don't even think they're hiding it anymore. Oh, God. Twitch, passive AP scaling increase. So, what is going on? This is literally the AP patch. Tam Kench. AP Tam has never been a thing until now, maybe. Passive AP scaling increased. EAP. Everything is getting ability power buffs. Everything. Ability power buff. Again, apart from the nerfs. Ability power buff. Ability power buff. Buff, but changed. Nerf, because that's crazy. Ability power. Ability power. AD, because she doesn't have any. Crit. AP. AP. Ability power and everything mixed in. Crazy ability power. Dude, this is like the biggest buff I think I've ever seen of them doing all buffs to ability power stuff. This is weird. I really don't want AP Twitch to be back because it's just fundamentally awful. But his passive, which I guess it never had. Oh, no, it is. It did. It had a 2.5% AP ratio. It's now a 3. And then the E was doing a 33. So 30. So yeah, small AP buff. Very, very small. And also, there are actually a lot of AP Twitch cheesers. And we want you to know that we also see you. I love how they're calling them cheesers, though, because that's funny. And then Udyr, Awaken Q will now deal a minimum amount of damage to minions. That's nice. That's a good quality of change, actually, because his R build, the Phoenix build, has completely overshadowed the Q build. But it's also not surprising because, again, it's the tank demonic build, and the Phoenix is the one that does well with demonic. So I don't even know if people will go claw form, but we'll see. Eclipse. Eclipse has become popular on several Bruiser champions and is generally outperforming other fighting. Okay, you saying this line, where is the nerf to Blade of the Ruined King? It's Blade of the Ruined King is outperforming mythic items. Like, legit, look in any of the games you're playing, people are buying Bork more than mythic items first. Where's the nerf? There isn't one. So bonus attack damage is going to 60, so that's a buff, but what it's getting is 6 less lethality, so that is overall a nerf. So yeah, okay. The effects update, so Janna's getting us some new looks, that's pretty cool. Themed Clash. So Worlds Clash will open, oh wait, oh no, I thought there was a Clash this weekend. So next Clash is October 15th and 16th. And this one is an additional Worlds Clash. So we had a Worlds Clash last Clash, which again, you'll get one. We did play that, by the way. We played one of the days. Only one of the videos or one of the games was worth uploading. So you will get that in the coming days. But yeah. So we'll try to, we'll see if obviously the team is up for it. I'm sure at least one of the days we'll be able to play. So that will be good. Event Pass Evolved. Oh, what's this? The final phase of the Mythic content overhaul has finally arrived. With the start of Worlds 2022, players will get their first look at the new Event Pass and Event Shop experience. We've moved event-related content to one convenient location. Once you navigate here using the special event icon on the top of the client, you'll be able to find exactly what you're looking for regarding to Event Shop, Event Pass, rewards, and more. Event Shop, just like before, you'll be able to spend your event tokens on exclusive Worlds 2022 content in the Event Shop. Cool. Event Pass, event missions, event tokens, and additional information. Oh, okay. So each event now is going to have its own tab that has everything you need, and you don't need to like find it through other ways. That's good. That's a good quality of life change. Bug fixes and quality of life stuff, not too many this patch, and upcoming skins. Again, a lot of skins. Unfortunately, Masty's getting a prestige, which is never a good thing. But, oh, wow. Whoa. That's really... I did not know these skins were coming, by the way. That's a really cool Darius skin. It's like a shonen... Dude, that's really cool. Evelyn, Masty's set. Again, a very popular champion for skins. Syndra, again, she is getting her rework, so not surprising, a new skin. Soraka, Tristana, and Yor... Oh, that's a cool one, too. Again, I don't love Yorick in his playstyle with Hullbreaker, but it's a cool skin. I'll give him that. Yeah, very cool. And then we're getting some more additional... Oh, a new chroma for Swain. I might get that. I do use that skin. Oh, wait, Tiffany & Co. Isn't that a company? Isn't that an American company? Is that the... Oh, is this a product thing? Remember last year in Worlds, they did Louis Vuitton. And they had a Kiana and a Senna skin. because Louis Vuitton was making the World's Trophies case. Is this a thing for that or something? Because, like, why are we getting Tiffany and Co. chromas? That's weird. I think that's an American company. I know that from, like, American media. But anyway, overall, honestly, one of the cheesiest patches I think we've seen in a long time. It's fundamentally enabling more cheese AP off builds. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I'm sure we'll have our own opinions about that. Still no Blade the Ruined King nerf. Again, I'm going to keep mentioning it until Riot does something about it, because it is crazy how... I'm not against the item. I'm against a legendary item having the strength of a mythic. People buy it before a mythic. It also enables builds that shouldn't exist, of like buying Blade the Ruined King on a champion that it can be used on. But then because of how much damage it's giving you, you don't even need to buy a damage mythic. You can just buy a tank mythic and you still do so much damage because of Blade the Ruined King. It's crazy that they haven't nerfed that, and they say Eclipse is unhealthy or people are buying it in the wrong thing. Exactly the same as Bork, but it's not getting nerfed. I don't know. Anyway, that's going to be it. Interesting patch. Can't say it's one of my favorite patches, I've got to be honest. I don't think there's any surprise there. Really weird to see as many AP buffs as we've seen, and especially the champions like Malphite and stuff like that. Twitch. I'm not a big fan of cheese off builds, but I think we all know that. But I'm very much looking forward to the Syndra. I'm going to definitely try her out. Probably my next recording session, I believe, will be Thursday. I'll probably play her there on the main account. Give it a go. I'm always looking for new mages. I've played, a lot of the same champions this year. Syndra I've always liked. I just have felt she's weak, and that's why she's getting this update. So very interesting. But anyway, that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy, please do throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime and